Hey, what's up you guys? This is Junior Trader, and in this video we are taking a look at the market for this upcoming week. Most importantly, we'll take a look at S&P 500 and Nasdaq 100 together with oil futures and also an ETF on the oil side, because right now oil is a big hot commodity, because that is, as you may aware about the Middle East situation, the oil situation is creating a havoc across many economies. I would personally not go much in the depth of the political side of the whole situation in the Middle East, because it's very depressing for me to even just go through the whole situation or read through it. It's just not my thing, and it's chaotic and depressing. So I just don't want to get myself too much into that type of content. We'll focus in this video on the technicals. Technicals gives us everything that we need to know, and high level understanding of the global situation is important, which I would just suggest please read through the articles that are out there. I personally would not like to go in depth on those. So with that, none of this is any financial advice, only for education purposes, just sharing my opinion. Please do your own thing. As I said, we'll focus on the technicals on the market, and going in this week, market is definitely looking to collapse more. Now, as I just said that we may see some rebounds, and I'll provide you situations as where those rebounds can happen, but the overall trajectory of the market, I'm on S&P 500 right now, the overall trajectory of the market is to the downside still. So let's start off with S&P 500 here. So the last video that I did, I told you this on this very candle as well, that structure is bearish still, and we will most likely continue lower. I explained you the price action back over here as well, that this is just a rebound, and then weakness came as we started to lose the levels. Definitely check out my previous video where I explained you all those scenarios. Okay, so as in the last video, I explained to you that the rebound is completed here, and we are getting into that weakness, multi-day weakness, which is overall structural bearishness as well, and we continue to slip lower. Along the way, some rebound came, but as you can see, we continue to reject underneath those significant levels. These levels all are marked by my tools automatically for you. If you are interested in my tools, you can check out the details in the description of this video. We continued lower, and the last day though, in the post market on the Friday, we are seeing a good bounce in the post market. However, this bounce doesn't make S&P 500 overall bullish. Now this brings me to the point that the overall trajectory still has a lot of room on S&P 500 to continue lower. As long as we continue to stay below now $661 area, the significant level right over here, overall direction, the bigger picture on S&P 500 will continue to remain to the downside. And as I have previously stated to you guys, that most likely technically the magnet would be then 616. That is the case now. Okay, most likely that's where we are heading now. So now, as I mentioned, along the ways we may see some rebounds as well. So let's talk about what are the situations looking like for that. So on the hourly interval, even though I do see that the overall price action is in the very negative side, along the ways we may see some rebounds slowly, but please remember, until 661, those will just be a rebound, and even after that above, there is some strength build up, but the longevity, I don't see the longevity structure change on S&P 500, at least until, even if let's say bounces happens Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, until 661, it will be Thursday. If anything turns around, it will be Thursday, end of the week, that possibility of strength or a comeback on S&P 500 only if it gets above 661. But I don't expect, at least in the price action right now, that 661 can be achieved before Thursday. I don't think so. And it's not that Thursday definitely will achieve. No, overall direction is the negative. I'm saying if some strength here rebounds build up, then also it won't be before Thursday that you will see any strength in the price action. So we will most likely continue to see weakness for the start of this week. Rebounds may happen along the ways, but overall direction remains negative, and it will be quite some time. And I'll talk with my members in the mid of the week if things, as when they start to show strength structurally. I'll talk with my members definitely about that. If you want to know about all those memberships and my services, again, details are in the description of this video. Now, here, as we continue to stay below the blue zone, definitely will continue lower. There is a bit of a retest, and as I say, some days of rebounds possible that you can look at $645 to $644 area, but we are overall in the downtrend structure, so I don't expect much strength to happen in the rebound. Okay, that will just be for a day, a little bit of a bounces, but yeah, we are most likely, at least to start this week, if rebounds even happen, they may not really make things bullish on the longevity side of the S&P 500. We'll have to see continuous 3 days of strength before, in this particular case of the price action, 3 days is not a given rule of anything or of any sort. It's just in this case of the price action, it's around 3 days that continuous strength and the levels hold into the rebounds that we'll have to see. That only will give us some possibility of strength buildup. So anyways, overall structure is looking in the right now in the longevity to continue lower till 616. The direction on the market is to the downside. Let's take a look at Nasdaq 100. So Nasdaq 100 also has, as I have previously explained to you guys, staying below 594 will trigger definitely this 581 zone we got there, and it doesn't make it bullish. We'll have to gain above 593 area before any strength again is possible on Nasdaq 100. And as we stay below 593 and also at this point 581 below, the magnet is 536 on Nasdaq 100 down here technically. And just like how S&P 500 price action is, we are seeing some rebound in the Nasdaq 100. I want to get rid of that thing. We don't need that anymore. Even though we are seeing some bounce on Nasdaq 100, guys, but it's just a bounce in the already downward structure. Okay, so don't get too much excited with that bounce. Again, these type of bounce can give it another day of a rebound like that with a near-term double bottom, but that will just be for a day or two, because overall structure is in the negative direction and will stay in the negative direction as we continue to stay below this blue zone up here. Okay, so yeah, that's that. So we are most likely looking like on Nasdaq 100 as well, slowly creep lower. All right, let's take a look at some. So USO, on the oil side, this is more of a future based ETF. Like it trades the contracts on the oil futures. And then we'll take a look at XLE as well. That is more your energy ETF itself. But let's take a look at the USO, but it's as close as you get to the crude oil, looking from the North American perspective. So USO here has been still going up. Okay, things are still not looking like that they're gonna calm down, unfortunately, and the price action is looking like it's gonna shoot higher right now. And I have talked with my members as well about it before and previously, because there was some queries that is it time to short here, and I mentioned that no, it's not the short. Even though you are seeing some this sell off and is it extended, it's short. Technically there is no break of structure. You can't short this thing right now. Right now it's showing me that it's just going to push much higher. 114 was the zone that I gave to my members as well, that as we stay above it, structure will remain strong on this thing, and it has continued to hold that thing still, that zone. And the structure remains still strong on the USO, United States Oil Fund. Now, this thing is looking like it want to continue higher. Let's get to the hourly interval here. Okay, even though we are seeing a dip in the post market, but the structure until 114 area is still technically bullish on this thing. Only below that we will see a downside in a way that it's not going to be a big downside. It's just going to be a day or so downside to begin with. But this thing right now is still way higher above that zone, and it looks like it want to continue up. So futures market, when it opens, later in the day, definitely track the prices. That will give you an early indication into the next day of the market as well. But so far things are looking like, you know definitely market is in the downside and oil is to the upside, the price of it at least. So energy ETF. So I personally hold not XLE but other energy ETFs, and in my long-term positions, okay, for being a couple of years building into the long-term position, and I never expected this thing to go like that. Some of the ETFs that I buy on the commodities side, they are mostly dividend based in my long-term portfolio, and they are just more like my has been as to hold cash, right? Hold cash in a way that gives dividends as well, and in the commodities if I want to manage some of my risk from other sectors of the market. Never expected that on the energy side, all the energy ETFs are going ripping up. So I never expected on the energy ETFs that I will get the gains so soon on these ETFs. Anyhow, I'm definitely taking some profits, but I also know that the thing is still extended and there is no break of the structure. So I'm still holding most of my position, but I'm slowly in the extensions, a little bit partially taking some position off the table and put it somewhere else, or when some other opportunities arises. Like there's tech stocks at this point, many of them eventually, some are already a great buy. I have talked to my members about those, and some are already will eventually soon going to become a good buy again. But anyways, all those things I talk in my memberships with my members. Details are in the description of this video if you are interested. Now, XLE is just pure right now, very strong, very bullish. There is no break of structure on this until $57. Like it's days and weeks away before even if it shows some weakness. So yeah, you will see some breakage of the structure before even you have to get out of this position. Definitely if you're looking to short it, it's not a short play. We are still in the bullish structure. You should not short bullish structure just because it's extended, because it can continue up, right? Look, you may have thought, oh, it's extended here. If you try to short here, look at it, it's already run up, right? So you don't, just because something is extended doesn't mean it's a short play. You have to understand the structure and accordingly take the positions. My tools helps you in all of that as well. Again, details are in the description of this video if you need access to my tools. All right, so that's pretty much what I want to talk about in this video. An overall picture on the market heading into this week. Definitely with for my members, I have done detailed video already talking about 25 plus stocks there. So as I said, details are in the description of this video if you're interested. That's all I had for you in this video. And with that, we'll see you in the next video. Take care, bye.